And for those who may not know you, you're running for superintendent. But can you just go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit, talk about your background and your career?
Okay. Steve Benton. I live here in Mariana with my wife, Dr. Jerry Benton. She's just retired from Mariana High School as art teacher. I'm completing 48 years with the school system. I've been a bus driver, teacher and coach of both boys and girls high school. I've been a high school principal of all levels, K through 12. I've been a former superintendent, and I'm presently serving as principal of W.R. Toller K-8 school in Bristol, Florida.
Why did you decide to run for superintendent?
Well, as you well know, back in 2012, 2016, I was superintendent here in Jackson, and everything was going real well. I was instrumental in getting the K-8 school. The teacher and the employees' morale was very high. This county was very financially stable. We got all the devices for our K-8 kids. And, I was just we're happy with everything that was going on. But probably for the last year and a half, 2 years, every time I go to church or the grocery store or Walmart, school board employees come up to me and they just highly encourage me to run again. They just say that the teacher morale and the employee morale right now is probably as low as it's ever been. So, I spent 37 years of my life here in Jackson County as a teacher, coach, and administrator, and the county was good to me. It provided a good living all those years, and I just feel like I owe it back to the county to come back and see what I can do to turn things around for them.
What would be your top couple of 3 to 5 priorities?
Well, as everybody knows right now, the COVID and the pandemic would be number one. I mean, it's in my 48 years and 25 years administration, I've never seen anything like this. It's gonna be difficult, but not impossible. That would be my number one thing, and number two would be the teacher and the employee morale. I mean, it's something that's got to improve because it affects all the way from the top to the bottom. And from what I'm hearing, the finances is going to be pretty tough too. So that would probably be my third one.
How would you go about raising teacher morale?
Every teacher that's ever worked with me, they just know that I care about them, and I just don't take it as a job or a paycheck. I just let them know that I care about what's going on with them. And I support them, and they just know if they need me, that I would be glad to help them.
What would you change about the budget and the finances?
Probably personnel. Whenever I was superintendent, I had gotten down to the total budget of personnel was like 78%. And, there's a lot of cut that needs to be done. There's like the new K-8 school was supposed to save administrative costs and teachers, but from my understanding is, it's not doing it. They're still plugging in positions. The half-cent sales tax has already been designated for the new buildings and everything, so that's going to be difficult. The board doesn't want to raise the millage rate, but, it's eventually going to have to come to it because, with the pandemic and everything, they're not going to get the same funding next year as they got this year. So there's going to have to be some strong cuts and some strong considerations of what the money's being spent on today.
Can you give me an example of something that you would probably cut?
Some of it would probably be administrative costs, and a lot of it would probably be whenever teachers retire, looking at the position to see if it needs to be filled. Not anyone losing a job, but just being more careful and frugal with what you got to work with.
So are you satisfied with metrics in Jackson County schools like graduation rate and dropout rate and the GPA, or do you think that there's something there that can be improved on?
Well, when I was there, I think we had like an 80% graduation rate. That's decent. It could be a lot better. But the You've got kids today that you've got to make it enjoyable for them. You've got to get them involved, and it's your school grades. Uh, they're important, but to me, it's not the most important thing. I think Jackson's the last grading period. Some of them dropped. Mariana High went from a A to a C. But personally, I would rather have an all average school that meets the needs of all kids, whether it's providing all the AP, college ed, meeting the lower kids with their remediation, just having a school that's got strong school spirit and that kids want to go to and would be glad to be there and have adequate discipline and providing opportunities for them to all participate in extracurricular activities and just get them involved and just make it a school that they feel safe at, the parents feel safe, and something that they enjoy getting up every morning and going to school.
What are your thoughts on career and technical training and incorporating that into the curriculum?
Well, as a high school principal, statistics show that you only got probably 20% or less that go to college. Myself, I'm a master carpenter, even though I have a master's degree. When I was teaching and coaching, I did home construction, build my own homes and everything. So I see a need where you've got kids that, you may have the smartest kid in the world up there, but he's not interested in going to school, going to college. But he may be interested in welding or plumbing or even corrections. A lot of them do cosmetology. So I'm as a high school principal, all about sending them to the tech schools. I would like to increase the enrollment to Chipola and Chipley Votech and provide opportunities for these kids to get the skills they need to be a productive citizen. Because, as I say, school's just not for everyone.
Okay, and what do you think the best and safest way to open schools back up and keep them open is?
Well, I'm in Bristol now at the K-8 school, and we've got a strong plan. We've already been working on it. The students, as they get on the bus every morning, the monitors will check their temperature, and they will not be able to come on school. They have to go back to mom if they have a temperature. All on the buses will have to be wearing a mask. They will come into at the bus unloading area, and the car liners out front, we will have people out with checking temperatures. They will check temperatures before mom or dad leaves. And if they're adequate, they will be able to come in. The teachers, there will be 2 port of entries every morning. Their temperature will be checked. And we're building little frames already, dividers for the teachers to put between those and the kids. The kids will have to practice social distancing in the classroom. We're not going to require masks in the classroom, but it's optional. And we will provide masks if they want them. But in the hallways, they will have to have a mask as they go about. We have bought tons and tons of sanitizer. We've even bought a fogger that you put the chemicals in, and you can just go out and fog the playground equipment after every class period. And we're taking all the precautions that we can, and I just feel like that my kids want to come back, the majority of them. We're having 3 options. You can either go to the brick and mortar, or you can go to the virtual with PAC, which is K-12 and some different programs. And Liberty County has designed their own virtual system with the Canvas. And it's where the teachers will be recorded every day of the classes, and their kids, the ones that choose this option, can stay home and get the same instruction as the ones sitting in the brick and mortar.
So how, I guess for families who may not have great Wi-Fi or only one computer but multiple kids, how will they how do you expect to cater to those people who may also not feel safe sending their kids back?
Our county has purchased, well, not the computers. It was donated through DOE, but every kid that does the virtual will have their own school board issued computer. And we have hotspots, and we're down in the area where there's just fish camps and everything. And but they, I think the plan is also that if a parent wants to purchase the internet, that the school board will pay $20 a month toward it, or either they'll provide a hotspot. So all of our kids that choose to go the internet route, we're going to make it possible for them.
Okay, well, great. Thanks so much. I think that's all I have. Is there anything that you'd like to add?
Well, I just feel like, that I know it's going to be difficult starting back, but I do feel like, our kids have been out, they've lost 2 years of learning. The hurricane, they lost a lot of time there, and they've lost a lot with the pandemic. I'm looking forward to seeing all of them come back because, you small kids, they love school, and they miss seeing their friends and everything, and they want to be there. So we're starting back with the teachers on August 17 and the kids on August 31. And we're looking for the majority of our kids to be back with us on brick and mortar. And, I know it's going to be trial and error, but we're, you got to start somewhere. And I feel like that we're prepared, and we'll do everything to keep them safe. And I just feel like, that I have a lot of experience and a lot of love and care for kids. So we're going to go for it.
Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, and I appreciate you.
Have a great day.
Take care.